After this video, you'll understand why the most independent women you know are secretly the loneliest, and why the very thing society celebrates might be quietly destroying them from the inside. This isn't about empowerment. This is about survival. And once you see what's really happening, you can't unsee it. Here's what nobody wants to admit. Independence became the new standard for women. Not because it leads to happiness, but because it became the only acceptable identity. Your worth as a woman isn't measured by your relationships anymore. It's measured by your career, your financial freedom, your ability to never need anyone. So women did what they've always done. They adapted. They rose to the challenge. They turned themselves into warriors who can handle everything alone. But here's the problem. When independence becomes your only identity, vulnerability doesn't just feel uncomfortable, it feels like failure. And that's not empowerment. That's isolation, wearing a crown. Let me tell you about a woman I knew from work. Brilliant, successful, completely self-sufficient. She built her career from nothing, owned her apartment, traveled the world solo. Everyone admired her. She was the example everyone pointed to. Strong, independent, unbothered. Fast forward 5 years. She's sitting alone in that beautiful apartment she worked so hard for, and she realizes something terrifying. She hasn't let anyone truly close to her in years. Not because she didn't want to, but because she didn't know how anymore. Every time someone tried to help her, she pushed them away. Every time someone wanted to be there for her, she told them she was fine. Because that's what independent women do, right? They handle it. They don't need anyone. And now, at 38, she's got everything she was told to chase, except someone to share it with. She told me once, tears in her eyes, "I built this perfect life, and now I'm trapped in it alone." Here's another pattern, and this one's backed by research. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that women who strongly identified with independence and self-sufficiency reported higher levels of loneliness and relationship dissatisfaction, compared to those who balanced independence with interdependence. Not less lonely, more lonely. Because when your identity is built on never needing anyone, asking for help feels like weakness. Wanting companionship feels like betrayal of who you're supposed to be. You get sick? You handle it alone. You're struggling? You don't tell anyone. You want affection? You convince yourself you don't need it. And the world applauds you for it. Until you break down in private. And then nobody's there to catch you. One more story, and this one cuts deeper. A woman in her early 40s. Entrepreneur. Self-made millionaire. Everyone looked up to her. She gave speeches about female empowerment and independence. But behind closed doors, she was falling apart. Her relationships kept failing because she couldn't let anyone in. She couldn't be vulnerable. She couldn't admit she needed support. Because she'd spent 20 years building this identity of the woman who doesn't need anyone. And the moment she showed weakness, she felt like a fraud. Like she was letting down every woman who looked up to her. So she stayed strong, she stayed independent, and she stayed alone. Until one night, after another failed relationship, she sat on her bathroom floor and cried for hours. Not because she was weak, but because she realized the armor she'd built to protect herself had become a prison she couldn't escape. So, what's actually happening here? Why do women keep doing this to themselves? Here's the truth. Women aren't naturally obsessed with independence. They're obsessed with safety, with not being vulnerable to abandonment, rejection, or dependence on someone who might hurt them. And modern society gave them a solution. Be so independent that you never need anyone. Be so strong that you can't be hurt. Be so self-sufficient that you're invincible. It sounds empowering, doesn't it? But here's what they don't tell you. Humans aren't designed to be islands. We're designed for connection, for interdependence, for needing each other. And when you cut yourself off from that fundamental human need in the name of independence, you don't become stronger, you become isolated. The cruelest part? Society celebrates this isolation as strength. It praises women for being alone and calls it empowerment. But empowerment that leaves you lonely isn't empowerment. It's just a prettier word for suffering. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. If your entire identity is built on not needing anyone, you're not independent. You're scared. Because true strength isn't about never needing help. It's about being secure enough to ask for it. It's about being powerful enough to be vulnerable. The women who seem the most independent are often the most terrified of intimacy. Because deep down, they know the truth. If they let someone in, if they show that they need support, if they admit they can't do it all alone, the entire identity they've built will crack. And they don't know who they are without the armor. So they stay alone. Not because they want to, but because it feels safer than the alternative. And that's not strength. That's fear dressed up as empowerment. But here's what I need you to understand. If this describes you, you're not broken. You're not weak. You're not failing at being a woman. You're reacting exactly how you were taught to react. Society told you that needing people makes you vulnerable, that depending on anyone is dangerous, that the only way to be safe is to be completely self-sufficient. And you believed it because you saw what happened to women who weren't. You saw them get hurt, betrayed, left, abandoned. So you built walls. You became independent not because you wanted to be alone, but because you wanted to be safe. And that makes perfect sense. But the walls that were supposed to protect you are now keeping everyone out. And that's not your fault. That's the system teaching you the wrong lesson. So here's the real power move. Stop treating independence like it's the only option. Start treating it like one tool in a full toolkit. Because the most powerful woman in the room isn't the one who never needs anyone. It's the woman who's strong enough to be vulnerable, strong enough to ask for help, strong enough to build real connections without losing herself. That's not weakness. That's courage. You don't need to prove you can do everything alone. You need to build a life where you don't have to. Build relationships based on mutual support, not just independence. Let people in without losing your identity. Learn that needing someone doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Because the day will come when independence isn't enough. And on that day, the women with nothing else will realize they built a beautiful prison. But you'll have something real, because you knew better. Here's the thesis. Independence isn't bad. Self-sufficiency isn't bad. But when you make independence your only identity, you're not building strength. You're building walls. And those walls will keep you safe. But they'll also keep you alone. The strongest women aren't the ones who never need anyone. They're the ones who can be vulnerable and still know their worth. So, be independent if you want. Build your empire, handle your business, but never ever let it cost you the ability to connect. Because the moment you do, you've traded one prison for another. And this one just has better furniture. Stay strong, stay aware, and remember, needing people doesn't make you weak, it makes you whole. Stay becoming better.